My name is Rene and I'm a documentary filmmaker and I'm excited to share this story. Stick around till the end and I'll share some behind the scenes stories, like the one with the Cadillac Series 62, which was pivotal in Mark's career. So we absolutely wanted to find one, which wasn't easy, but we did eventually. Now let's watch the film.
Back in Switzerland in the 1950s, it was a young boy's dream to design cars in America, but it seemed impossible to get there. Against all the odds, he was able to make his dream come true. This is the story of legendary car designer Mark Stehrenberger, an inspiring story of courage, risk, and perseverance.
Here is the monster. This is a Cadillac Series 62 convertible. And the very reason why I wanted to become a car designer and why I emigrated to the US. This is the epitome of opulence, and it's just very impressive.
Born in Switzerland, Mark began his career as a tailor and fashion designer. But in his heart, he carried a passion for cars.
Yeah, I was fascinated. Automobiles were my thing. As a little kid already, I could tell by the sound of the car. I could tell what it was. Was it an Opel? Was it a VW? Was it a Renault? Whatever. I guess it had to do with freedom, yeah. To go some places. I loved to travel as a little kid already. Automobiles, yeah, they were the ticket for freedom.
His dream was to design American cars. The problem was that he was living thousands of miles away from the American car industry. So he had to make a risky move. In October 1964, Mark moved to the United States. It was a bumpy start, and he didn't get hired by the auto industry. But he did get a job working for a lighting company.
The job interview actually was very short. To this day, I don't understand why they fell for me, because I have no understanding of lamp design or lighting design. I have no understanding of electricity other than that you plug in a plug in an outlet. I think they liked my accent because I have that German accent, and that sells very well over here because it means dependability, it means, being educated and so on. Of course they were totally wrong.
He designed lamps for people's homes, and later created entire lighting systems for casinos in Las Vegas. However, his contemporary style often clashed with Americans' more traditional taste.
Americans generally, they are much more conservative and much more traditional. I had to tone down. It was not a failure, but it definitely, I was getting frustrated.
So, in his spare time, he enrolled in classes at the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena. He wanted to experiment beyond what he could do at work. After 4 years, he had seen enough. He started his own company, MSD, and that's when a unique opportunity changed everything. He got asked to illustrate cars of the future for a well-known car magazine.
They liked it because they came back and said, hey, can you do more and more and more? So pretty soon I was very busy just doing automotive illustrations for future projection of automobiles. And it developed, later on it developed into a thing that I worked on a regular basis for 50 and more magazines worldwide.
Thanks to his success with magazines, automakers were taking notice.
The Volkswagen Beetle was a very popular car in the US, but it was getting old. They came to me, Volkswagen of USA, if I could breathe more life, new life in the Beetle. And I said, yes, I can. I sprinkled some crazy colors like a poison green and yellow and orange color on it, black bumpers, never heard of it before, some bigger wheels, racing stripes, just bring a lot of youth in that design. They thought maybe a limited edition of 1,000, let's see if it works. Well, it was gone in a few days. So it became a mainstream for them, and I feel very proud that I could contribute to more life for the bug, but also help VW out.
After his success with the sports bug, his dream came true. More and more car brands reached out to him. Together with his French partner, Alain Clinet, he founded the design company Stehrenberger Clinet in Santa Barbara. They designed and developed new cars for most established brands. One of them was BMW.
BMW came to us and they wanted to find out how they can sell more cars in the US. Now, they brought all the models over here and they were not fit for the US market. Americans live differently. They live in the cars. It was very difficult for the Germans to understand that. Their windows would not go down all the way. And I said, well, you know, Americans like to put their elbow on the sill. So they had to restructure it. They also objected to the idea of a mirror and a visor of the driver, because they said, no, then you get distracted. One of the things that we told them need to be in a car, and that is a cup holder. They said, well, no, you can't do that because we have leather seats. I took them to a McDonald's drive-in, and it just so happened that a young couple in what was it, a Bentley, they were going through the drive-through. And the Germans could not believe what they saw, that these people would actually eat in the car with leather seats in a Bentley. And later on, they became very, very good at it on their own. And obviously, it's a success story, BMW in the US.
Mark's successful concepts and his passion for cars were well received in the car industry. The company was growing fast, and he called Santa Barbara home for nearly 3 decades. Until Mark decided to venture out on his own again. With a small core group and now back under his original label, MSD, he freed himself from the 100-hour work week. Celebrities and wealthy individuals seeking the exclusivity of a custom car became his new clients. And as a part-time instructor, he returned to the Art Center College in Pasadena and the Art Center Europe in Switzerland.
This is Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, one of the foremost design schools, not just in transportation, but in filmmaking, graphics design, packaging design. By the way, the students, they come from all over the world. The courses, they go trimester, 3 times a year, at 14 weeks, and it's grueling. It is 24-hour work. Campus is open 24 hours. Once you come out of here, you have good chances in life. Basically what it does, it starts, you do some ideation, we call that, how you could see the vehicle, how it's being used and where and when. And then you come up with some preliminary ideas, concept ideas. Then when you decide on one of them, you go further. You do different views of it. You do bigger illustration, presentation illustration. And when you have that, then you go and make a model, a 1/5 scale model. They had a campus in Vevey in Switzerland. For about 10 years, I was teaching over there as well. It was a big difference between those 2 places to teach to people. Over here, people were, many times they were going totally bonkers, way out. You have to tell them, hey, calm down a little bit. You still have to get in and out of the car. In Europe, it was just the opposite. I had to tell them, come on, push it into the future. Over here, you risk too much, you fall on your face, you get up again, and you do it again. If you fail in Europe, yeah, it's difficult to get up in it because of your reputation and because of this and that.
Mark reflects on cars from the past that left a lasting impression on him.
Citroen Tschou, Ugly Duckling. The Germans, they came out with the VW, the Bug. This was the French version of the Bug. Again, very, very simple, but much more practical than the VW. I love it to this day. My brother-in-law had one of them, and we went all over Europe with this thing here. Good memories, nice car. Lamborghini, the Countach has a following to this day. It's still a very good-looking thing, and again, it was very simple. It's a Bertone design, and it holds itself very well to this day. What a beauty! Look at these things. Designed by Raymond Loewy in the 60s. Actually, he was an architect. He designed the Avanti. Studebaker, they hired him to do the job, and he did beautiful work. Very nice details on the vehicle. Look at the side view mirror. You know, it's not just a regular mirror. There is some styling to it. There's some design to it. Some of the automobiles you see nowadays, they are more sculptures that are standstill sculpture. Whereas I always feel, hey, the automobile is moving. So it should also reflect in the design of it. You look at it again today, beautiful. It's a piece of art. It really is. I like the concept, simply because underneath is the package of a very mediocre car. So they updated it and they gave it a two-door coupe, and it was a hit, an instant hit. This one is a very nice one, very well preserved. I just like the way they did that stuff. Nowadays, you would not do that anymore. It was not very well assembled, but the effect, the overall effect was that hit it. Love it, the long hood, which showed, hey, there's some power underneath. It had a back seat. You didn't want to be there for a long time. And yeah, it was the beginning of the center console, which I think was a big mistake. Because the bench seats, you know, they were fun. You could do all kinds of stuff on the bench seat, which you cannot do here. Hey, it got some flair here, look at that. They stole that from the Avanti.
He also reflects on where car design is today.
What is happening on the car design field nowadays makes me sad. You cannot distinguish between different cars anymore nowadays. Okay, now BMW has that ugly front grille. Mercedes has the get out of my way type of grille. But the rest of the cars, they all look the same. And it's a shame because there is so much opportunity. Now with the EV, with the electric vehicles, it would present itself a very, very good opportunity and a challenge to come up with something new. I do like the clean styling of the Volvos. They distinguish from the rest of them. Some of what Kia is doing, or Hyundai, I like as well. I'm tired of all the SUVs. They all look the same. I'm hard put to come up with a car that I really passionately love today.
Mark comments on the unique design of the Cybertruck.
Oh boy, Cybertruck, it's so big. And it's a very impractical car. Pickup, supposed to be practical. You should be able to load from the side sometimes, the bed. I predict that everybody wants to have one right now if they can afford it. But, and it will become a collector's item, but I don't think it will ever be a mainstream type of pickup truck. And you know, Elon Musk, he himself said, we just shoveled our own grave. He said that with that Cybertruck.
he reminisces about some of the cars he has owned over the years.
That is the Citroën SN. The thing that was unique, obviously, was the front. You know, with the lights that would turn with the wheel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was cool. And I owned Fiat Multipla 2002, turbo diesel with one tank is 1,000 kilometers. Everybody says Fiat, that's not reliable, but it was one of the most reliable I had. If you buy a Fiat or if you buy a Vespa, you buy Italy. So, and I'm going to have one again someday. Cadillac 59, I had that for a very short time. And now currently I'm driving an Italian job. It's called Venza. Actually, it's not an Italian job. It's Toyota, which is only sold here in the US. But I like it. It's flawless. I have no problems. I have 210,000 miles on the same engine. I just needed a new pair of brakes and tires, of course. But other than that, absolutely nothing. One of the most reliable cars.
To this day, you can hire Mark to design your own vehicle. Car, motorhome, boat, airplane, nothing for which he does not have an exciting and unique idea.
Lincoln Continental 1958. This was the era of nothing was impossible to make. Just beautiful.
Finally, Mark's advice on what it takes to be successful.
I think more than ever, you cannot do it all by yourself. You do need other people. You do need a team. You need mentors. You need their help. You need their advices. How do you find them? You spread your wings. People become aware of you. And you have to show them you're passionate about what you're doing. People respond to passion.
Now let me share a few interesting behind-the-scenes moments. And by the way, if you're interested in having a documentary video for your business or for your brand, feel free to reach out. I'd love to create a video with and for you. First, we had to find the exact Cadillac Series 62, which inspired Mark to move to the US. And this was quite the challenge, but a friend of Mark who helped us with the Lincoln Continental at the Murphy Museum in Ventura knew that there was one on display at the Zimmerman Car Museum in El Segundo. Put the little love in this area and then walk to the door.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, okay.
And action. Yes. And eventually, we even got to film Mark driving it on the museum's property. Although we weren't allowed to drive on public streets because of insurance liability issues, but we managed to hide that in the video. Secondly, during filming, I realized that Mark's strength was more in sharing amazing anecdotes from his career, and these stories brought his journey to life. So instead of having him speak from a script, I decided to use a narrator to summarize his life story and let Mark's anecdotes add color and personality to the film. Every documentary is different and has its own challenges, and that's the fun part. Every challenge is an opportunity to find the perfect workaround, and often it's those improvisations and adaptations that bring these stories to life, and that makes them unique. People like Mark inspire us to do things differently, to take risks and to go after our dreams. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Tschüss.
Next time, next time.